That's entirely too loud. There we go. Let's see how well I do with this game with sleep deprivation. Wait, is it? There we go. Apparently you can't click on the button. Mutation, good. That's weird. Can't tell if that's good or bad. English. Actually, I think Kel said that it was probably better to use controller for this.
How can something as beautiful as this be dying? A plague is ruining the land, but the tree of life still stands. Question is, for how long? End
Probably not pronouncing that right.
The tribes stand divided, in need of someone strong enough to unite them, or bring them all down.
I like that option.
This is a story with an unusual... Welcome to Biomutant.
Yeet. If I start in hard, that means I can jump up to extreme later. Probably not a good call. We shall see. If it's anything like Souls, I'll be fine. Something tells me it's probably closer to Devil May Cry than Dark Souls. Which one of you is intellect based? Why are you intellect based?
Define your genetic structure.
Maybe I should use the mouse for this part. Thought I saw one that gave me 100, so maybe that's perfect. Apparently that's it right there.
Choose a genetic resilience.
6 in all. Feel like that might be a waste. Maybe I'll go for an even number, divisible by 10. Then that still leaves me with the other 2, or the other 3 at 2%. Because I know I was watching Kel play this, and I know the percentages when you put bio points into the different resistances stacks up by 10%. Of course, if it went 25, then I'd be minimizing the amount of lost bio points to 5% as opposed to here it'd be, actually this would be 6% for each of these if you max all of them out eventually. So I think I might go that route.
Choose your first style.
This kind of makes it look like he's got eyebrows.
Pick your main color.
I like that shade of blue.
Choose your detail color.
I can make myself look like acid. Acid trip mutant. That seems kind of entertaining. Maybe like something that kind of helps it blend a little bit better. There we go.
Class. Come at
Sci Freak. And that'd still start me out with a gun. I don't even know what the melee would be.
Sci Freak chosen. Sounds good. Here's somebody with a troubled past, drawn into the spotlight of a story that's already begun.
Double jump.
We're already at a crossroads. Choosing a path in life is that fork in the road where you make a choice or simply stop living. But for you, it's not only a crossroad, but a choice. A reflection of your key.
Told that the dark powers are pretty good, or at least that's what I've been able to tell from watching a little bit of what Kel does.
Allow me to introduce myself. I'm the dark side of you, your inner voice to be precise, an echo of the balance and consequence of your actions as you move forward.
Can't believe you'd choose that thing over me. But I'll be here waiting for you when you have a change of heart.
You're annoying. No.
That thing? I'm right here. Let me remind you, we're two halves of the same. With the difference being I'm the better half.
I agree.
Better half. My way is both better and brighter. Light makes it easier to see the best end.
The best end is the one you decide yourself. And it seems we're headed in the right direction.
So one's selfishness, one's selflessness, I suppose.
Guess left can be right sometimes.
Ye. I mean, they all lead to the same place, it looks like.
Stories of death and the bodies left behind. A reminder that we're at the mercy of nature.
Difference is I want to stack up to that 30 mark for the psionic powers. Because you apparently get an orbital death laser.
Do you remember the beast that shattered your family? Or did you choose to forget? You turned your back on our world and got lost in your own. Meanwhile, the predator only grew stronger.
Oh, I got some kind of weird glove thing on. Are you eating earwax? Is that... I'm never going to be able to take that character seriously. Oh, that hurt. Just get a reload going. Oh, I should probably... So it's just kind of showing you basic controls here. Excuse me while I axe kick through this club. Was that my foot or hand?
Better make a run for it. This is not the time nor place to end this story.
I can't tell if I was yeeting for my character or for the mine. I looked a lot more awesome in the opening cutscene when I had a sword.
It was best to run and live to fight
Yeah, it
another
wasn't
day.
green and blue.
Let us hope you're ready for it when it comes.
I'm invincible. That undersea mine definitely won't tear through that door. And I was right.
The Predator isn't the only threat. The wildlife started to mutate when the end of days began.
Seems like Psyfreak doesn't start with a melee weapon exactly. Or the melee weapon they start with is just their fists with electrical shenanigans. That's important information. So I gotta keep an eye on my psionic. Is there a lock-on feature? Am I locked on now? Doesn't seem like it. Seems like, okay. So this is kind of one of those things where you have to control the camera, and it's like a third-person shooter basically. So you don't really lock on, but you kind of lock on when you're looking in that general direction. So that's good to know. Give. Attach it to your ranged weapon to give it extra damage for as long as the ammo lasts. Some enemies have resistance or weakness to special weapon. Okay. Well, I mean, equip it, I guess. And again, that might not be such a great thing because, well, I've already got electric powers, and it said as long as the ammo lasts, so I have to assume that means it's temporary, like a power-up, essentially. Why did you kick that? It's a bag. You don't kick bags, you unzip bags. Are you a thing? The toilet. Give me a gun. Not quite, but close enough. Don't use the toilet med pack. Wait, how did I... It was character? Or was it gear? There we go. I should have read that. Face. No. Oh god. My fuzziness is clipping through my shirt. What happened to your eye? Experiment 101 jacket, Experiment 101 pants. I feel like they have... Oh god, I'm naked. Don't mind me. Is it consumables? Health packs. Now the question is, would this be better than my fists? No, definitely not. That thing was at 100 for max, and this thing's minimum is above 100. So yeah. Oh, you just press A next to it. I have arrived.
The oil sludges everywhere. To most, it only means death. But some have adapted to the new environment and changed with it. Evolution has its ways.
Parrying. Well, I'm aware of how to do that. Okay, I'm out of electric goo. It was you.
Misery.
Nope, that's no good. Probably shouldn't put myself in that area.
You don't have the key energy for that.
Oh, yeah. Fucking spam that too much. seem to be playing kind of a ranged character. Okay, most of these guys can be looted. Tongue tickly. HP regeneration for 2 seconds. Did I murder someone over here? Ugh. Well, I missed all of those. Don't mind me. Thanks for that, friend. You look explosive. You deserve that. Hi. Could you, like, pull out another one of those things so I can shoot it? Dandy candy. I mean, kind of looks like a starburst that someone shoved something into. Like, starburst that's been smooshed with other starburst, and then someone just crammed some other random hard candy into the middle of it. And again, now that I think about it, most of the things I picked up so far kind of look like candy. Oh no. Some enemies carry large shields. You need to break the shield with melee attacks before you can deal damage to the enemy. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, that's not really a shield so much as a car door.
Punch a bunch.
Punch a bunch. Yeah, that sounds about right. Lightning. Seems to be what I do the best. I suppose that makes sense considering I have 100 in intellect, so my lightning attacks are going to do really high damage compared to everything else that I've got. Hi. Level up. Defeating enemies and completing quests will give you XP. Leveling up allows you to raise one of your attributes by 10. You also unlock 1 point that you can use to unlock skills in Wong Fu and perks menus. To go to the menu, press lines. Sweet meat. Level up. Well, I'm not gonna stop being big brain now. Close combat, unarmed. Square, square, Y. Or XXY. I don't know why I called that square. Actually, isn't that, is that the square button? I mean, that seems fun. Excuse me while I go Rock Lee on some people. Double jump. Okay, so that's just Super Wong Fu. Once you have more upgrade points, remember to spend them on perks and special attacks in Wong Fu and perk menus. Perks, Psy Freak. So we got... Okay, so these are the basic class perks. Nocturnal, you have 10 intellect at night. Mind Melt. Power, damage, ability attacks have a 10% chance to inflict a critical hit. Power damage attacks inflict 10% more damage to the target. Attacks inflict power damage, regenerate your health. by 20%. Actually, that one would be really good. But you'd need to be level 15 to unlock it. Basically, I think what that means is when I use that lightning bolt that I kept throwing out, I feel like that probably gives me health regen, so that would give me sustain. Then again, I doubt this game is about min-maxing. But I'm gonna go for all intellect, because I think that would be funny. Actually, did I have new items? Oh, those are all just consumables. Sweet meat. Energy pack medium. Dainty. Dandy candy. Tongue tickly. Small health pack and health patch. That's the health patch I found in the toilet, isn't it? No, actually it was this. This is what I found in the toilet. Toilet medicine. Be healed by poopy water.
Look, an emergency box from the once was. A rare sight.
Excuse me while I use my big brain to punch through this glass. Was there anything else in here? Locker. You'd think there'd be something in there. Could have swore I saw Kel opening up a locker earlier. Might just be because of this area. They don't want you to get too many extra items. This seems like tutorial land because I'm pretty much invincible in here.
That pipe looks weak.
Despite the fact that I have like...
should come in handy.
Ow. Button mashing.
Whoa.
Wait. Wait, how did you phase through reality?
Find a way out of this place. No,
He didn't come down that pipe with me, he just phased through the wall. I assume I don't know how to swim. Unless that wasn't water. I suppose that would make more sense. Hello.
The Morks produce biomatter
Mork.
in their multi-organ that they shed under distress. Blobs that affect the cellular
Special attacks. You're on your way to performing a special attack.
coding strands of any living
Oh.
being when absorbed.
Okay, I see what it is.
including you.
And it doesn't actually matter as long as you've got more than one hit chained into it. You can do Unspeakable Hand. So it's kind of a fluid combo system. Let's just eat lightning. Fear my big brain. Excuse me while my big brain dives over this way. Not enough key. I do like how they have like Ki and Wung Fu in this.
Your energy is empty.
I know. I was just kind of spamming it. Ow, my grundle. Primary Lotus. I use that a lot. Okay, let's take a look at this mutation. Biogenetics. Using bio points and defeating bio creeps or finding containers. Bio points can be found at nucleus tower sites. Well, that's good to know. Mothmouth. So you can make them fight each other. I assume it does a little bit of damage too. Vile, bile. So these are extra abilities that I have to... So I should probably focus on the ones that I want. Instead of, like, spending a ton of points on a bunch of different abilities if I can only have 4 of them slotted at once. Might be better to focus on the ones that I actually want to get. Psi powers. Yeah, so these run off of something else. This is the orbital laser I was talking about, Sky Spark. I need 28 more Dark Aura for this. And a lot of psi points. Bonus is at 20, I can make people into movable objects. I should probably get 30 light, 30 dark. I wonder if you can actually do that, though. These are the upgradable resistances. Turtle form would be kind of a waste. Storm hop. So basically a ground pound. So if I save the points that I've got right now and throw them into storm hop, that might not be bad. But do these actually scale with intellect like everything else that I'm looking for does? I'm guessing probably not. This probably counts as a melee. So yeah, let's just stick with the psionic powers, which means I probably shouldn't mess with anything in this category. I'll just upgrade one of my resistances. Anti-heat, anti-cold, anti-radiation. Sure. Let's just throw points into that. Oh, I got new gear. But what is it? Offhand. Main hand, spark gloves. Oh, have I been not using that? I feel like I probably haven't been using that. Wait, then what's the new item? Is it in outfits? Oh, it's the tool, isn't it? It was just telling me about new tools that I've got. That claw bar. Onward and upward. My character looked like Stretch Armstrong for just a second there. Very, very messed up Stretch Armstrong.
Toxanol built vessels called arcs to save themselves from the impending doom. But was it too late? It is only from the flight logs of the single arc they left behind that we know other arcs traveled through the sky and beyond. It seems those that came before us never lost hope in finding a new home.
So, Toxanol are humans? Question mark? I assume that's what that is, because all of the stuff I'm finding is based off of... Huh. I expected to have more moves than that, in all honesty. You found a puzzle. These are scattered around the world. Some open new paths, while others feature different rewards. To switch nodes... To switch node, which node is selected, use up and down on the left stick. And then... Wait. That doesn't make sense. To rotate the node, press LB and RB. I'm gonna get zapped a lot. This is the number of rotations you have left. The higher your intellect, the more moves you have. I should have more moves than that. Each node has a certain position it must be rotated into to complete the puzzle. Running out of moves before that may have consequences.
Just a few moves left. Make them count.
Okay, so that's easy enough. It's just up and down for that. Well, that's not good. Yeah. Let's try this again with less electrocuting the smart out of me.
There are few records of the chain of events that led to the big apocalypse eons ago, but it's clear the world wasn't prepared for how recklessly the Toxanol Corporation would make its mark on the world. Their rare earth mining and nuclear industries generated tons of waste.
Toxanol.
And, without consideration for the future, they dumped it all in landfills until they ran out of space. That's when they made the big mistake. They began dumping the toxic waste in the surf just off the coast instead, assuming that it would sink and decay with time. And they were right. But no one was prepared for what was about to unfold. Once in the surf, the radiation interfered with the genetics of the wildlife and created bizarre mutations in their offspring. It had an inconceivable impact on biodiversity and the entire ecosystem. The world as they knew it crumbled as nature retaliated. It would never be the same again, and what remained of it became ours.
With a name like Toxanol, what did you expect to happen? It was practically like advertising.
Spark metal going pew pew is never.
We're gonna ruin the world with pollution.
From behind that door.
Why did you give them access to nuclear materials?
A warning label. The box looks like a potential brain melt.
A potential brain melt.
It's going to take a bit of puzzling to short-circuit the door.
So right will turn this clockwise, left will turn it counterclockwise.
Just a few moves left. Make them count.
Got it. I am big brain.
There you go.
I still don't understand why my intellect isn't doing much of anything to affect these puzzles. I expected more than... So, like, I watched Kel do this. Oh, hi. Watched Kel do this the other day, and he got kind of default values on his intellect. It was like 28 or something like that. He wasn't focused on it. He was focused on strength and agility. My character is full intellect, nothing else. So maybe the stats don't matter all that much at all, because he had 10 moves on that first puzzle. I had 11. The only thing that raised it was that one extra point that I threw in after I leveled up. Out of date. Perfectly countering an enemy attack will stun them. A stunned enemy has stars circling above their head, and after hitting the enemy again, you can launch it up in the air by pressing LB.
The wheeled one is outnumbered. You'd better help him out.
He'll be fine. He's got a gun. It's like, Army of Darkness. This is my boomstick. See? He'll be fine. He's got, quite literally, a shotgun. Ow. I am ninja. Suplex. Broccoli-plex. Lightning bolt. I cast magic missile into the darkness. Stop it. Stop beating up the cripple. I hope you've learned your lesson. That is the idea. Free stuff. Don't mind me. You keep dealing with that. I'm just gonna go over here. Wait. My money's on the guy with the shotgun. Come on, you can do it. I've got money riding on this. No.
That's the last.
There we go. I don't think they wanted him to be the one that finished off the last one. Give. Energy pack, small. Is this Viagra? I'm concerned now. It's either Viagra or Adderall.
He wants to thank you for taking his side against the scavengers. He sounds familiar. You just can't figure out why.
I know why, because he's Elvis.
He presents himself as out of date. He knows he's way overdue, but he hasn't given up. He doesn't seem surprised that you don't recognize him. You were just a child back then, the night everything changed. There have been rumors of a one-eyed Ronin seen outside the Great Wall, and he's happy to see it's true. The legend of the one-eyed child that grew up.
Still say this guy sounds kind of like Tim Curry.
The child could have been anyone.
The guy who voiced Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events
A facial scar to remember
as the narrator. It's not, but it sounds like him.
There's no doubt you're the child, and that what Looper Lupin did to your village, your Moomer and Popsy, was the beginning of the end. He says it has taken you a long time to bring the past back up to the present, to find your way back, but he's grateful you have. It was after the attack that the unity fell apart. Your Moomer's disciples divided and formed tribes as a reaction to the blight that had fallen upon the land.
You gonna explain the grasshopper yet?
No one would have survived.
Wait, is the voice just coming from the grasshopper? Not Tim Curry. Are you coming from the grasshopper? Way back in the long ago. Talk to Best Before. Oh, so Best Before is out of date when you run across him. Wonder why he's called Best Before, though. He even sounds like Elvis Presley. Like if Elvis Presley were a gopher.
It's a bit of a hike from the village. He wonders if your Moomer knows you are here. You're such a good child, so you probably did. Even the young forget.
Is that going to give me light points?
He
Because I don't
understands why
need
you
those at the
came all
moment.
the way out here to see them, the potato people.
You're not a potato, you're a ferret. Or a gopher.
The potato people, or Nono, are a wonder, somehow interlinked with this little tree here, fueling its source. You might be right. Like potatoes, they're packed with energy, an excellent source of ki.
So I should eat the potato people.
The Nono prefer to hide in glitter grass. He says you should get over there and ruffle it. See if you can make one come out of hiding.
Okay, so those are just random dialogue options that don't really have an impact on much of anything because you still have to do this. Yee. I'm ninja.
You found one. You should be proud. They don't come out for everyone.
I used fists.
The Nono's ki energy is just what the Pensine needs to complete its cycle and grow into a tree of life. Only time will tell. At least his intention is to dedicate his life to it. He has the feeling the fate of the world depends on it. You'll need to support the tree for a long time to come. The only way it'll grow tall is with the burst of ki released from the Nono as they become one with the tree. You'll need a net to catch the Nono, and he wants you to use his, but asks you to be gentle. The Nono are sensitive beings, an embodiment of Ki.
So I can't use fists. Seriously, he sounds like Elvis. Wait, how do I capture this thing? What's the button? Oh, you just Y to interact. Come closer.
You handle that net like you've never done
I was
anything
either
else.
gonna catch
He's
it or murder
impressed.
it.
One day, he hopes the tree will have grown tall enough to sustain the world. But today, your focus is getting this one to become one with the tree.
So now that I've got... Okay, so sprint is pressing down just like most games. Do a thing. It's interesting how the tree is formed like DNA.
Now that you've seen the Nono's connection with the tree with your own eyes, you have no reason to doubt.
I didn't doubt it before.
From
It's like I'm
this
not
day
questioning
on,
why
he'll
Elvis
make
Presley is a
nurturing
gopher.
the pensai into a tree of life, a life goal, not only for our village's sake, but for all of us, everyone. One day,
Seriously,
the land won't
he's
be as
singing.
peaceful. Not even your Muma will be able to protect us. He says you'd better hurry back to the village before your Muma comes looking for you. You did good here today. That's not true. She's the reason there's still unity, and the only one strong enough to keep the 6 Wang Fu disciples disciplined.
Yeah, I suppose that's fair.
He lost you there for a while, but no memory is alone. It's part of a trail you can follow. He says he remembers every single day he devoted to growing the tree of life, but now he's afraid it might be in vain. The tree started to die when the end of days begun, and it wasn't long after that that the World Eaters arrived. The genetic evolution that occurred after the apocalypse that Toxinol Corporation inflicted on the land set the World Eaters' DNA into overdrive.
So when they're translating some of these things that these creatures are
His friend
saying...
Gizmo is working on a Mecton and needs help
Hang on.
defeating the Jumbo Puff at the end of the West
Jumbo
Route.
Puff. That doesn't sound very dangerous.
Wiz is still repairing his Octopod to confront the Merc Puff that dwells deep down under the surface at the end of the Northwest Route. Noko has tamed the Midget and is preparing to take on the Hoof Puff at the end of the East Route. Finally, Goop is almost done with the Goo-Glide, a machine able to ride the waves of the surf all the way out to the Porky Puff at the end of the route to the
I like Goop.
southeast. Out of Date says his friends are gearing up to stop the World Eaters. There's one at the end of each route. The road ahead won't be easy, but he's counting on your support. His friends aren't strong enough to end this on their own. He wants you to understand that you'll all die if the tree isn't saved. Regardless, you'll meet again once you've played your part in the Tribe War and the situation with the World Eaters.
Why didn't you just let me keep that? So what I was saying, it seems that sometimes they switch between intelligible speech and not so much intelligible speech. Almost like they're using the dialogues to demonstrate the fact that these creatures aren't altogether there. In terms of like intellectual growth, their vocabularies are like, what's the words I'm looking for? It's not like they're limited. It's like they jump back and forth between being
know that the tree of life is dying. Its days
good
are numbered.
with their vocabulary and not so much, which isn't a really good way to put what I was just trying to say. It almost sounds like I'm one of them, but you know what I mean. The adventure begins. Time to sprint. Time to pee on a signpost.
Cartographically challenged. Let's see.
Oh god, hydrate. Fast travel. Open at any time to press the things and do the things. I assume that's where I need to go, so let's just place a waypoint right on top of where I already have a waypoint. Hello, friend. That's one of them world eaters. I know that much. It kind of looks adorable, I'm not gonna lie.
That must be the world eater that chewed off Out-of-Date's leg. You'll need a hat trick to bring that down.
Silly me, I didn't bring a hat. Maybe I could go back to Out-of-Date and borrow his other leg. I bet you that'd work too.
Look, a survivor. Glad to see someone made it out alive. He's heard the stories about the terror inflicted by the World Eaters to other enclaves, but never expected one to come all the way here.
Your inner balance is two halves that complete a wholeness that flows through all things. At times you'll be able to manifest your inner balance through deeds and dialogue choices. Few are those who always act in the same manner, and our wholeness is the sum of the choices we make and the actions we take. Balance of your actions creates your aura score, which affects the dialogue with other characters. So like right there, parts of that were broken down into less intelligible words, like our wholeness.
He worries there won't be much left to save if this continues, even if the Tree of Life survives the attack. He doesn't know what your connection is to this place, but something tells him you've stayed true to your heart.
Interacting with captives and psi shrines will award you with psi points that you can use to unlock psionic powers. Powers can only be unlocked once you have reached the required dark or light inner balance.
Anyway, he needs help and says it's by your actions you'll be judged, not by your intentions.
I'll leave you to your fate. 'Cause that should give me dark points at Witcher.
I can't understand why you'd do such a thing. He won't make it out of here on his own.
Oh, I didn't realize I would be...
Clever cogs.
I didn't realize I'd be uppercutting him. Excuse me while I beat up defenseless fuzzy creatures. He's still sitting there too. Sure, why not?
Seriously? I always thought better of you than that.
You're me. Shut up.
There's always more dark than light.
There's
No,
still
they're
time
equals.
to turn back.
They're already heading down my road.
Why do you beat each other with shovels? Then again, I did just uppercut a defenseless fuzzy creature that required help, so can't say too much there. You've gained a psi point. Use it to unlock powers in the mutation menu. Some powers are locked by the aura score, meaning that your psi points can only unlock powers of the same color as your current aura or those without color. My big brain is expanding.
There's Out-of-Date again. He must have missed something.
Don't mind the unconscious furry creature over here.
Wherefore, wherewith?
Out of Date knows you'll make a better stand against the World Eaters with the support of a tribe, and there's 2 nearby. The Jagni tribe is likely to be your primary choice as they seek to become omnipresent and, most importantly, feared. Regardless of who you choose, it won't be easy, as the conflict between the tribes is worse than ever, teetering on the brink of war.
Well, I mean, I seem to be extremely good at hurting things, so maybe I should go to there.
The World Eaters began when the Leviathans rose from the depths of the surf. Siding with the Myriad's movement for wholeness in a fragmented world might seem like the logical thing to do, but is it the right thing? One thing's certain, though. Destiny arrives all the same.
See, this is about the point where my knowledge just kind of goes out.
By wiping out the weak.
I haven't really been paying too much attention to what Kel has been doing.
And want to let the World Eaters bring down the Tree of Life. But siding with Jagni isn't necessarily a bad thing. Fate will find a way. Out of Date says someone needs to break the stalemate and shift the balance of power to either Jagni's or Myriad's
Out of Date.
He believes the tribe Sifus, Jagni especially, will listen to you and expects you to pay at least one of them a visit and play your part.
So you're telling me to go to the place that wants to destroy the World Tree, to save the World Tree. Out of Date is not a good planner. Your current and started quests are shown in the journal. See the top menu above, and you can change which quest you track by opening the journal tab and selecting another quest. I mean, that's where we're going. Dead Zone, Surf Archipelago, Nupstonies? Yerp Fields. That sounds like a good place. Fnacky, Leaves, Mushy Mush Mire, Cluppy Dunes, Tribe War. Oh, I should have read that. Defeat all 4 World Eaters. Sounds easy enough. The Tree of Life is dying. What was once protecting all is now withering and fading. You need to take on the World Eaters and decide the fate of the World of Tree. Life or death. The choice will ultimately be yours and yours alone. Another world. You've made it through the wall and out of Bunker 101. You need to gain the support of a tribe in order to take a stand against the World Eaters. Go to either of the nearby tribe Sifus to gain their support and take a side on the broiling conflict between the tribes. Talk to the Jagni or Myriad Sifu. The tribes are splintered and stand in opposition. Some believe that the World Eaters need to be vanquished and that the Tree of Life can be saved, whereas some believe that the impending doom should be embraced and that the only way forward is the destruction of the Tree of Life. It's up to you to unite the tribes under one banner, one way or another. New gear. Oh, that's just that new tool that I got. The rod net. Or not. Is there something else? Oh, consumable. Energy pack, small. Oh, that's the Viagra I found earlier.
Another fork in the road. It's either the tunnel or the motor bridge. What'll it be?
Well, which one leads me over to the guys who want to murder everyone? Because apparently that's the route I'm going with this.
It's a bridge. Just get over it.
Makes me think of the Rage game, Getting Over It. Hi, friends. Do you guys require assistance? Here, let me help. I don't know who I'm beating up. Yeah, I'm beating up someone. There we go. That's the button I'm looking for. Heat gun. Heat lightning. Actually, that does some pretty decent damage considering these guys are above me in level. Ow. You're not allowed to use Kung Fu. That's my shtick. I think, maybe. Question mark. Hooray! I leveled up. Give me things. Let me loot corpses. I assume this is probably the way I'm supposed to be going. Actually, we should level up. More brain.
Wiser than ever.
I know. We got Wung Fu and perks. Psy-Freak perks. I could grab Nocturnal or give my abilities a 10% chance to do a critical hit. Seems like those things are the things that do most of my damage anyway. So I should upgrade that. Because Wung Fu just seems to be, what can you do with the stuff that you've got? And honestly, I wouldn't have been able to buy this. And I don't have any other melee weapons at the moment. I can dual wield guns. Not yet. Well, I could have bought this. But I don't have a second gun anyway. I'm the bigger big brain now.
They've destroyed this area, muddied up what used to be muck, as if it wasn't bad enough before the tribe war began.
Restroyed. That's a new one. It's like
That's
destroyed,
the Jagni
but
tribe's fault.
reverse.
Their friendship can be a blessing or a curse. It's up to you. You're either a part of their solution to the tribe war, or part
Oh,
of
I'm always part of the problem. Hi, friend.
Says they're wary of strangers. They're at war.
Let me talk to
Thinks
your
you
big
should
boss.
Just put one paw ahead of the other and make your way up there. The tribe is always open to a new face.
You just said you were wary of strangers. You hypocrite. Or liar. Both. Hypocritical liar. His face is almost as fugly as mine. There's only one way we can solve this. We have to battle to the
tribe
death.
wants to become omnipresent and, most importantly, feared. They want to vanquish the tribes, as the only way they can guarantee peace is through supremacy. The Sifu is determined to let the World Eaters destroy the Tree of Life, as it's part of their strategy to cleanse the world and start anew. He welcomes you to the Jagni fort and introduces himself as the tribe's Sifu.
I uppercutted
The
a
news of
fuzzy,
cold-blooded
defenseless creature
Roman
recently.
crossing the Great Wall through the crack in Bunker 101 preceded you. He's referring to your rampage through Bunker 101. It seems you don't mind a bit of blood on your hands. That's something you have in common.
I mean, do
There's
we have
something
blood?
about your spirit that sparks memories of you as a kidling. He can still sense your kind-hearted. Sometimes one memory can make another come to life. He hasn't thought about your Muma for ages, even though she taught him a lot. He was one of the original Wung Fu disciples. Your Muma invented Wung Fu. Originally, it was based on unarmed combat and the 6 weapons: the boomerang, the shuriken, the bow, the staff, the nunchuk, and the hook and chain. Jagni doesn't want a new unity between the tribes. Their goal is to become omnipresent and, most
You've said this
importantly,
multiple
feared.
times.
Says fear and hatred is the only path to domination, but you already know that. So embracing that side of you and helping them vanquish the tribes and letting the World Eaters destroy the Tree of Life should be an easy decision.
Sure, why not? Let's murder people.
He expected you to join them. You understand that the universe runs on the principle that the one who dominates others runs the show.
Not exactly.
The
Tyrants
Sifu
never
was
really
waiting
learn.
for something to tip the balance in their favor, and with
Someone
you
always
by
ends
their
up
side, he's confident you can
ousting
vanquish
them.
the other tribes. The one he wants to deal with first is the Myriad tribe.
Shake my gooey hand.
Their kin must put an end to the war before war puts an end to them. It'll cost bruises and broken bone, but they refuse to be the victim here. He wants you to focus. These are the new rival outposts your tribe needs to take control of.
So go to that area and kill everything there. Got it. I can do that. Maybe. Question mark.
He says you'll regret not being on their side. The only way you'll learn their secrets, Wung Fu and the tribe weapon now, is if you defeat him. And that will never happen.
Give me
You
your
both
boomerang.
share dark thoughts, so they want to wage a war. A war where all that's left behind is casualties. Tells you not to be afraid. Your fate cannot be taken from you. Claim the rival outposts and earn the right to wield the tribe weapon. Once you've conquered the rivals' outposts, you'll challenge their Sifu for control of their territory, tribe weapon, and kin.
Give me
Seeing
your
you
kin.
brings back his memories of the old village. He remembers your kind and unselfish soul, and can sense you still have it in you, the will to do good. Anyway, you'll pass your old village on your way to the first rival outpost, but we've got no time to be sentimental. War doesn't wait.
Most of that didn't make sense. Exit the fort. Anyone around here got some things to sell me? Suppose I don't really have anything to buy things with. Maybe I could just purchase things with fists. That seems to be what this tribe is all about. Excuse me while I sprint. Oh, quadrupedial-like. You. I wish to purchase.
Peddler is eager for you to have a look at the wares.
Sure, why not?
Points out they just restocked, so you should be able to find something you like here. Shop sharp.
Each vendor is specialized on a particular type of weapons, melee parts, ranged weapon parts, gear parts, clothes, or mounts. Going to the vendors and browsing their stock can be a great way to find better parts for your gear. If you're missing a specific part to craft a weapon, you can always check the nearest vendor. Purchase items from the vendor, provided you have enough green currency in the form of a leaf. The price of an item is listed to the right of the item listing. Green is gathered from specific bushes or through selling items. I don't need to know this. I understand how buying things works. I also understand I have nowhere near enough money for any of this. And a lot of the stats I don't have for any of this. So you can buy basic revolver parts. These are all healing items. Not so sure I'll need most of these. Nope, that was the wrong button. Weapons. What happened to that weapon I found? Oh, here we go. I'm sure I'll get more
now
of these.
you're in the green.
I mean, yeah.
A good deal all around.
I'm leaving now. Open up the door. Pass through the forest clearing. Oh. Mutant bunnies. Thanks for the help, Grasshopper.
Better beware, that's a mump up ahead. They were hit hard by evolution, the wonky ones especially, deformed and unfurred.
Yeah. Oh, he hits like a truck. Oh, that's gonna be a pain. Glad I didn't sell those things like I was considering.
Gigawatts.
Wonder if I hit him in one of his legs enough, if it'll knock him down.
You're on the ropes.
Oh, that's no good. He too hit me. Well, first death. That's gonna happen a lot. Definitely not like Dark Souls.
Better beware, that's a mump
I know.
up ahead.
He just murdered me.
They were hit hard by evolution, the wonky ones especially, deformed and unfurred.
I think what I need to do is save enough this psi energy to dodge. Because it takes psi energy to dodge. Especially this part, because this does a lot of damage. I should also try and not miss. Oh, don't get caught up on things. Probably could have gotten away with that without using a healing item, but sure, it'll be fine. Dumpster diving. Oh, already then. That seems nice. Oh, okay. And how do I change this? Oh, is that just a part? Okay, I thought that was a whole weapon. Suppose that makes sense, because it doesn't have a whole lot of damage. I assumed it was like some kind of submachine gun or something. use that. Excuse me while my fur clips through everything. Oh, that's right. I've got to level up.
Sharpening of
More
the mind.
brain. I could see this helping out. Increase in DPS. Mutations, psi powers. I've already got Spark Ball, but I can get Blaze. That might help. That just knocks things down. Or if I save my points up, I could potentially get some of these other ones. Like telekinesis only requires... Yeah, telekinesis only requires 10 points, but it requires 16 more. Dark. I'm wondering if this would be helpful for actually dealing damage. Certainly for crowds. Let's put that on X. Okay, do I have an extra? Okay, no I don't. Still don't have any other extras of those. Alright, that should be good. Hello, small fluffy cat creature. It's just the little dog.
Time is lost on this place, but it evokes a tingling sensation. There's something special about it, drawing you closer.
First, I must pee on this signpost. Second, hydrate.
Let's see.
Seriously, hydrate.
As time passes, memories fade, and sometimes feelings change. It's not about who you were, it's about who you become. This story is far from over.
Oh god, I shrunk.
Echoes of a long-lost past, like whispers in the wind.
Oh, hi friend. Goop!
Here's someone who takes each day as it comes. He wonders where you've been. He hopes you've been out at the lake, practicing your swimming technique. Goop says some choose to be lonely because no one understands what they're going through. If that's you, he'll try to help you, if you let him. He thinks you should really know how to swim by now. Why not? There's no better time to do what needs to be done than right now.
Suppose that's fair. So how are you gonna teach me? Yeah, this sounds about right. Yeetus deletus. You can swim in most waters, while in very deep water you'll slowly lose ki energy, and when you're out of ki, you'll drown. Excuse me while I karate chop the water. Good thing I regenerate ki pretty
He
quickly.
says that wasn't too bad, was it?
At least I learned how to not swim.
At least you learned that you'll drown if you don't swim. But you need practice. Lots of practice. Judging by your Mooma's look, it seems you forgot something. You promised you'd train with her before the sun goes down. It's time to go. You know you can't make up for lost time. You should know. Practice makes perfect. She'll see you at the village square. She'll be waiting for you. There will be a surprise for you at the end, too. Here's another familiar face with lots on his mind. He was hoping you could help him pick up some scrap for a thingamajig he's working on. He's happy to hear that from someone that's
Hi,
a part
buddy.
of the
Yeah, see,
Green
Kinder, that's not a good idea.
You owe it
The kitty's on the
to
bed.
protect
You
the
okay,
environment.
Kinder?
You should look for things that are recyclable.
She
It
jumped
shouldn't
up in
take
that
you too long
immediate
to find
terror. You okay, kitten? Oh, she's afraid now, too. All the animals are getting afraid. Oh, that's why.